Okay, today's song is Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. If you've tuned into my other videos, you're going to find that this one is a little bit of a different format. Usually I'll go verse, chorus, solo, and go through everything, note by note in each part of the song. But because this song is so complex, I've included a first segment called Signature Licks. And in that segment, what we do is we explore all of the different licks that recur during the song so we don't have to cover them over and over again in each part. And they're fairly complex licks. That's why I put it together this way. If I was to reiterate the licks every time that we have to go over them, the video would be like 3 hours long, and that would be a lot to take in. I'm thinking at this point it's probably going to be, I don't know, an hour and a half or so before I get this thing all recorded today. So I know that's a lot to record. I can only think what it would be like for a learner to have to sit through all that just for the sake of getting one song down well. But anyway, I think I've covered this thing more extensively than anything I've seen out there. I haven't seen any tabs on the internet or in magazines or songbooks that hits every single note like I do here. So it's worth it to go through the whole thing. Let's go ahead now and tune up. He's tuned to a D tuning, which basically means you're going to drop your whole guitar one step. That would be a difference of 2 frets. And I'll tell you the notes of each string as you go if you're using a tuner. But here's what your pitches are going to be. We're going to start on a D note for the 6th string. It should sound like that. And on a tuner, that'll be a D. Next up here we have the 5th string, which on a tuner would be a G. Next we're going to have 4th string, which would also be a C on a tuner. 3rd string is going to be an F on the tuner. 2nd string is going to be an A on your tuner. And your high 1st string here would be a D on the tuner. So there's our tuning pitches. Fasten your seat belts for this one because it's kind of a long video, but it's great. I tell you, you won't regret working through the whole thing. It'll bring your playing to a whole other level. Here we go. Okay, we're going to start things off with what I like to call Stevie Ray Vaughan's signature licks. They're licks that really characterize his style, and they tend to be repeated throughout the song. That's why we're going to go over them here, so that we don't have to go over them over and over when we explore each section of the song. We can just refer back to this section of the video. Let's get started. The first one I like to call the shuffle lick. It looks something like this. Again. And the way we approach this one is we use our first finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, along with the open 2nd and open 1st strings. And he plays in a couple different rhythms in the song, but basically here what the idea is we move from this to this figure here where we're barring the 2nd fret on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. And every so often we actually slide to it from here. And you're going to see that one a few times during the song. So anyway, I'm going to refer to that one as the shuffle lick when it occurs as we practice through the sections. Next we have what I like to call the slide lick. It looks like this. And the way we approach this one is we start with our 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string and our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And we're going to take those and slide them up quickly. So our index finger lands on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and our 2nd finger lands on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And then we're going to play it 6 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2nd finger slides back to 2nd fret, 3rd string. Then we have open 3rd string. and then we land over here on 2nd fret of 4th string. Again, that's. And that's what we're going to call the slide lick. Next we have what I call a signature lick. This is the most complicated one that we see in the song, but it happens 3 or 4 times. It looks like this. Almost got it there. Take 2. This next one I like to call the signature lick. It happens 3 or 4 times in the song, and it's a little bit more complex than the other 2. It's going to sound like this. And what we're doing here slowly is we use our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, then open 1st string, 3rd fret 2nd string, then we're going to slide up to 4th fret of 3rd string using our 2nd finger. From there we're going to sweep upwards through the string starting on the 1st string. So we're going to go 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string. So what we have so far is this. Next we slide down to 2nd fret, kind of like we did in the slide lick. Then open 3rd string, 2nd fret 4th string, and then we're going to go to open 4th and walk back up 1st to 2nd. So again, here it is real slow. And that's what we're going to refer to as the main signature lick. Next we have the turnaround lick. It looks like this, which is 3rd fret, 3rd fret 6th string, 3rd finger, then open 5th string, then 1st fret 5th string, 1st finger, to 2nd fret 5th string, 2nd finger. And the way that one occurs, we'll just give you an example of this kind of thing. I took the slide lick, open E, turnaround lick. Here it is following the signature lick. These should sound a little bit familiar if you've listened to the tune a couple times. So that's how we're going to use the turnaround lick. Next up, we have the string bend lick, and it looks like this. And what I'm doing here is I'm using my 2nd finger to push the string upwards, the 3rd string on the 2nd fret, a full step, so it sounds like this note here. See how I slowly push it up to achieve that note. Bring it back down. Pull the 3rd string and then land on 2nd fret of 4th string. So this is all on the 3rd and 4th strings using our 2nd finger. And you'll find that one where he's like, I love my baby, long and lean, etc. So that's where you're going to find that one a lot. And next up, we have what I like to call the B7 to A lick. And this one's fairly complex too. It's going to look like this. Again, that's. One more time. So this one we're we're going to start with our pinky on the 7th fret of the 6th string, and then we're going to use our first finger to cover the 4th string and 3rd strings with an upstroke, and that's on the 4th fret, so we have this. Next we use 2nd finger 5th string, 5th fret, and then we refer back to our other 2 notes on the 3rd and 4th strings. And then we're going to use this finger here, 1st finger 4th fret, 4th string, just that note alone, and then 3rd and 4th strings together again, both on the 4th fret. So we have this. And then you see after that I bring my 3rd finger up to the 6th fret of the 4th string, and then back to these 2 notes. So it looks like that. We move down here to the A chord. An A chord is when you put your 1st finger across the 2nd fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. And here we're going to go open A, which is 5th string, upstroke, the rest of the chord. 2nd finger comes after that to 3rd fret of 5th string, followed by 3rd finger 4th fret, also on the 5th string, and then the A chord again, so that looks like this. So we put the whole thing together. And you see I followed it up with the shuffle lick. In fact, we can follow the shuffle lick up with the slide lick, starting on the B7 to A7 lick. And that's kind of how it's going to happen in the song. Here's what it'll look like when we put it all together. Turnaround lick. And that should sound familiar. There they all are in a row. Now in the song there's a couple chords we're going to need to know that we'll go over next. The first one being the E chord. That's going to look like this. The way we achieve that one is we use our 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, 3rd finger on 2nd fret of the 4th string, and 2nd finger on 2nd fret of the 5th string. And we're going to strum all the strings on the guitar here. Now there's another E we're going to use, and it looks like this. I call it the comping E. Here we're going to use our 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, just like we did with the regular E. This time our 2nd finger is going to come over here to the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and we're only going to use these 4 strings. And this E we're going to use short little upstrokes to play during the rhythm of the verse. Like so. And those notes are called staccato, meaning short notes. That's the music theory term for them. Next up we have the A7 open chord. Also this one's going to be comped when we do the rhythm. And the way we achieve this one is we use 2nd finger on 2nd fret of 4th string and 3rd finger on 2nd fret of 2nd string, and we strum just 5 strings here from the 5th string on down. When we do the upstrokes, we miss the 5th string. We're only using the top 4 strings. Next up we have another A7 chord. I call it A7 number 2. It looks like this. Sounds familiar, that little section. And what we're doing here is we use our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and then we use our 1st finger to complete the A chord that we saw earlier in the B7 to A lick. one is where the part where he goes, well, she's my sweet little thing. That kind of a thing. I'm not the best vocalist, so I hope you caught that. Anyway, that's the A7 version 2 chord. Lastly, we're going to have the B7 chord, and that looks like this. And what we're going to do here is use second finger on second fret of 5th string, first finger on first fret of 4th string, third finger on second fret of 3rd string, open second string, and pinky on second fret of 1st string. And we're going to use all 5 strings for this one. And in the song, this one is usually broken up into individual notes, like, so we'll do something like that. And then maybe the A7 to the E. See how I kind of put them together there, and then followed it up with a slide lick. So there we go. There's all our signature licks and basic chords for the song. Let's move along and start to learn the verse. Alright, so there it is along with the music. Let's move along now and learn it note by note. The whole thing starts with the E chord that we looked at in the signature licks section of the video. And it also has a bass line, which is played on the lower 3 strings. Now watch closely. I can play the bass line and then play the other half of the E chord here on the top 3 strings with upstrokes, like so, and create something that looks like this. See how that works? So let's go ahead and learn the bass line. It all starts on the open 6th string. Then our pinky comes to 3rd fret 6th string. Little bend in there, about a half step bend. Then we play 5th string. Our second finger should be in place on 2nd fret. Stretch pinky up to 4th fret, 5th string. Then we go to 4th string. Our 3rd finger should be in place on 2nd fret. And then back to our 3rd fret 6th string note. And then back to 5th string. So what we have here again is this. And then we just throw in upstrokes here. Then we're going to throw in our shuffle lick. And our emphasis here is the 1st fret one here, a long one of these and 2 short ones. Right in that rhythm. And then this starts again. On the 3rd fret one, we're going to skip the open string. So we're going to go. And that follows the. So when we look at the whole thing, we have this. And then we're going to go. Sounds kind of sour, the last note, but it's going to go by really quick, about this fast. Next we're going to go to our A chord, and we're going to have the same idea. We're going to have a bass line added along with our chords with upstrokes. What I'm doing here is open 5th, 3rd string, 3rd fret rather, 5th string. 1st finger should be in place for 4th string. 3rd finger 4th fret, 4th string. 1st finger should be in place for 3rd string, 2nd fret. Then we're going to go back to third, fifth string, second finger, and then to fourth string where first finger should be in place. Again, slowly it looks like this. One more time. And then we're going to throw in our chord. Shuffle lick again, same as we saw the first time around, back to here. Our E1 repeats again, starting on the third fret note. So when we put all this together, it looks like this. And that brings us to the end of the chord part of the intro. And now we look at the lead, the part that goes like this. I'll take it nice and slow for you. Little turnaround in there. Okay, so this one starts with our index finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string and our 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And what we're going to do is take that little configuration, play just the 4th string, slide it up to the 9th fret, and then play the 3rd string so our first finger follows it. And we're going to do that 3 times. And after that, we're going to take our 3rd finger, which should be on the 9th fret at that point, slide it down to 7th, pull the 5th, this is all on the 4th string, and then we land our 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string after that. So what we have so far is this. From there, we're going to take our 1st finger, bump it down here to 6th string, 5th fret, then hammer to 7th, and then pick the 7th one more time. So what we end up with is this. From there we're going to go 5th fret, 5th string, 1st finger, walk it right up to 7th fret, 1, 2, 3, and then back to 5th fret here. So we have, so after this, again. From there we're going to use our 3rd finger on the 7th fret, 6th string, and then 1st finger, 5th fret, 5th string. So we have after that, what I just played is a bent 5th string, released to 3rd, then 5th again, 3rd, move your 2nd finger over there, because we're going to need our 1st finger here for our last note, which is the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So from that section out, it would look like this from the 5th fret hammer part. One more time. And from there, we're going to follow it up with our slide lick, and then our turnaround. So when we put the whole thing together, it looks like this. I'll do that one more time for you. Okay, next up what I'm going to do, or lastly what I'm going to do, is play it very slowly along with the music. I've slowed it down using a program called SoundForge, a program I use to kind of slow things down to be able to figure out the licks accurately and also to practice them until I get them up to speed. So let's do that right now, and then we'll move along to the verse. Here we go. Alright, this is the first verse to Pride and Joy. It uses most of the signature licks that we looked over in the first part of the video. So be sure you know all those before we start this, because I'm not going to tell you, you put this finger on this fret and that finger on that fret and stuff like that and go over it finger by finger. We're just going to go over it riff by riff and kind of put them all together. What I'll do is, let's get started on the verse. It all starts with our comped E chord here, that's just upstrokes. And we're going to do that several times. Here it is with the words. Well, you heard about the love giving sight to the blind. And right after blind, we're going to throw in our bend lick, our signature lick. And then we're going to go right back to the comps. My baby's loving calls the sun to shine. We'll do our A7. She's my sweet little thing. A7 type 2. With a little bit of a twist here on it, we're going to open up these top two strings and leave our first finger here on the second fret of the third string. So we have two of these, one of these, and then two more of these. Just like so. So that would be She's My Sweet Little Thing. Back to our comp D, She's My Pride and Joy. Now our B7 to A7 routine, She's my sweet little baby, I'm her little lover boy. And what I just did there was the B7, A7, shuffle. Again, that's B7, and end with the shuffle. Then we're going to have what I like to call the broken slide lick, which is similar to the signature lick we learned. Except here we're just going to break up the notes on the slide part. And slowly what I'm doing here is using my second finger. We start on the second fret of the third string, slide it up to fourth. First finger should be in place here on third fret of the second string. Then we have open E, first string, back down, second string, third string, slide down to here just like we did in the slide lick, open third, land on second fret, fourth string. Here it is again. And then we have our turnaround. So one more time, we'll go through it so you can see it close here. Well, I heard about love giving sight to the blind. My baby's loving cause the sun to shine. She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby. I'm her little lover boy. So there we have it. It's a little tricky to sing over that while you play it. Stevie Ray was really good with that. Plus, I'm not too much of a singer, so I'm more of a mumbler when it comes to that kind of stuff. But there it is. Okay, here's our second verse to Pride and Joy. This one's a little trickier than the first verse, but it's loads of fun and it sounds really cool, so it's worth learning. So there it is along with the tune. Let's dissect it here. It all starts like the first verse did, upstrokes, E chord. And he goes like that for a while. He's like, I love my baby, longingly. You mess with her, you see a man get with me. And then we go to this. We're going to move our way up to the A chord via an open 6th string to 3rd fret 6th string, to 4th fret 6th string, and then to the A chord. Then we have our A7 figure. So that whole thing looks like this. And from there we're going to go So this was kind of a neat little run, followed up by the shuffle. And that little run, by the way, looks like this. We have open 6th to 3rd fret 6th, open 5th. Then we're going to walk our fingers right up here, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, all on the 5th string. 2nd finger comes back here to 3rd fret, 6th string, and then down to open 6th. Again, real slow. So when we get that whole thing together, we have follow it up with the shuffle. In that rhythm. From there we go to our B7 thing, to our A. Just like we saw in the first verse. And here's our last little thing. It looks like this, which is first finger over the 5th fret on both the 4th string and 5th strings. We're going to pick through those like so. See how I kind of roll my finger so they don't sound like a chord, they sound like individual notes. And next we bring our 3rd finger to the 7th fret on the 5th string, and from there open 6th string. So when we put the whole thing together, it's going to look like this. You mess with her, you see a man get mean. She's my sweet little thing. So we did that whole segment we just learned, and then we followed up with the slide and turn around, which he does a lot of times in this song. Alright, so I'll play it one more time for you slowly, and then we'll go over it with the music slowly. There it is without the music. Let's cue up the music here slowly. There it is once nice and slow along with the music. Hopefully that'll do it for that verse and you'll have it down. Let's move along to the 3rd verse. Alright, this is the 3rd verse to Pride and Joy. It uses a lot of the signature licks that we've learned so far, as well as some stuff we picked up in the 1st and 2nd verse. And in addition to that, some new leads and things that we're going to learn along the way. So I'll play it along with the music. As you may have seen there when I was moving my fingers around, there's quite a bit to this one. It all starts with a few breaks where he's like, I love my baby and lean. Mess with her, you see a man get mean. And what I'm doing here is I'm doing our E chord, then our bend lick, and then followed by the slide lick. Now here's where it gets a little different. We're going to go to our A chord shape after that, and we're going to play the 5th string open twice, along with the A shape. Then we're going to move our 3rd finger to the 4th fret on the 5th string, and then we're going to use the 4th string, where our 1st finger should be in place here on 2nd fret, and then 3rd finger, 4th string, 4th fret. So we have, then we're going to do our A7. So we have this. And then we're going to refer back to here, 4th fret, 5th string, back to 2nd fret, 4th string, to 4th fret, 4th string. So coming out of the A7, it should look like this. Again, that's. So when we put the whole thing together, And from there we have our shuffle here. In that rhythm. So far we have this. One more time for you. After that, we're going to go. Again, that looks like this. And what I'm doing here is bending the 2nd fret 3rd string, then an open 2nd, open 1st, 3rd fret 2nd string, open 2nd string, bent, and from that bend is bent 2nd fret 3rd string, 2nd fret regular, open, and then 2nd fret 4th string. And from there we're going to have an open thing here. That's going to be our next lick. Which is open 6th string, open 1st string, 3rd fret 2nd string, back to open 1st string, and then a hammer on and pull off series here, a trill, between our 1st fret's 3rd string and open 3rd string. So when we put those two licks together, we get this. Then we do our walk up. Landed on a B7 chord here. You don't necessarily have to use your 1st finger because we don't play that note. And the notes I'm going between here are the 3rd string and 1st string. And your fingers should already be in place for the B7 chord on the 2nd fret of each string. And then we're going to wrap it up with our signature lick. And a slide. Hope you caught all that. What I'm going to do is run through the whole thing for you now so that you can see what it looks like slowly without the music. So we're going to go like this. That's what it looks like when you put the whole thing together. Okay, what I'm going to do next here is play it along with the music at a slow tempo for you so that you can get an idea of what it looks like at a slow speed, a little more reasonable speed, so you can actually see my fingers and see what it looks like when it's locked in with the music. Here we go. Alright, so there we have it. Once fast, once all the way through note by note, and then a couple times slow. Hopefully that'll give you a clear idea of how to do this one. Let's move along to the 4th verse. Okay, here's the 4th verse for Pride and Joy. It's a little bit easier than the 3rd one, so if you got through that, this should be kind of easy for you. All right, so there we have it. The whole thing starts on our E chord again. So we have a quick one here. I love my baby, fine as wine. Then our bend lick. Another E chord. And then silence. Usually he would put the slide lick in there, but there's nothing. And then when he goes to It's My Sweet Little Thing, all A7, and then our A7. That lick there, and back to She's My Pride and Joy. Then we're going to go straight to a B7, and our picking for this B7 chord is going to look like this, which is 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, 1st string, and then we alternate in this rhythm between 3rd string and 1st string. And from there, we go to this series of A7s to this, which is second finger 3rd fret 6th string to first finger 2nd fret 4th string, and an open E string. And then we finish it off with our slide lick to the walk up. So when we put all this together, we have baby, silence, she's my sweet little thing, A7, E, straight to B7, easy, right? Much easier than that 3rd verse. Okay, this is the 5th verse to Pride and Joy. So there we have it. That's the last verse we're going to do, and then we'll start working on the solos. But anyway, here we go. So this one is really straightforward in the beginning. It just starts with comps on the E chord, like so, and then we move up to, which is our walk up, we've seen a couple times already, to our A chord, to our A7. Now here we have something that's a little bit new. And this lick here goes open 6th, 3rd fret 6th string, 4th fret 5th string, 2nd fret 4th string, and then 4th fret 4th string. And then from there we do our shuffle. Like so. So that whole thing. After that we have our B7. This time we're going to go, which is 5th, 4th, 3rd, pinky on 1st string. Then we alternate between 3rd string and 5th string. So we have, and then we're going to finish it off with our signature lick. And we'll slide. So from the top, it's going to look like this. Love my baby, heart and soul. Love like ours will never, never grow old. She's my sweet little thing. There we have it. There's our 5th verse. Let's move along to the solos. Okay, now it's time to go over the solo for Pride and Joy. This is the first solo. What I'm going to do is play. So there it is, played quickly all the way through. Now let's take it in segments. I'm going to isolate the first segment here using my really cool SoundForge program, and we will. I'll play through that for you along with the music, and then we'll go over it note by note. Just this one segment. Okay, so I hope you caught that. Let's slow it down here so you can see it slow too. Here we go. So I'm going to slide into this like so. Move it up. Slide again. So this whole thing starts, we're going to slide into your first finger being on 12th fret 2nd string and second finger being on 13th fret 3rd string. So we have 3 and then 12 of these. Then we're going to move our second finger up here to 14th fret, 3rd string, and apply our third finger down here on 15th fret, 2nd string. 12 of those, then back to here. 12 of those, and then our next lick's going to look like this, which is 14th fret, 3rd string bent. First finger bars 12th fret here, and we sweep through the strings, 2nd string and 1st string. So that's our lick there. Next we're going to do this lick 3 times, and what I'm doing there is a bent 14th fret, just a half step bend, not far, about that far. So when we put the whole thing together, it looks like this. One more time for you. All right. Okay, now let's look at the second segment of the solo. I've slowed it down on the computer so we can kind of play along with it, and you can see it slow. I'll play along with it slow a couple times, and then we'll go over it note by note. Okay, so after we come out of the segment that we first learned, we're going to go. And slowly, that's 14th fret bent, just a half step, to 12th, first finger, 1st string. Roll that first finger over to 12th, 2nd string. Bend, 14th fret, 3rd string, and then go back up, 12th, 2nd string, 12th, 1st string. So we have, again, and then we're going to move over here, 3rd finger, 15th fret, 2nd string, and then bend, 14th fret, 3rd string. And then we're going to go 14th bent, and then we're going to do it a few more times. And what I'm doing there for that segment is 14th fret bent 4 times, regular once, to 12th fret. This is all on the 3rd string. To 14th, 4th string. Back to 12th fret, 3rd string, and then 14th, 4th string. 12th, 4th string. To 14th, 5th string. So that whole segment, when we put it all together, one more time for you. And then we're going to go like this. And what I did there is use 2nd finger on 14th fret of 3rd string, bend, 2 12th fret notes, 2nd string and 1st string, and then 14th fret here, played along with 12th fret, that's 2nd string, 14th fret, 1st string, 12th fret, and then 15th, played along with 12th fret. And then we're going to slide down from there. So when we take that whole segment, and then we're going to move our way into the next segment. So let's go ahead now and do that. I'll cue up the next segment of the solo. Okay, so as you saw there, We're going to going from here into this next lick here. Got to do a little tuning. There we go. And how we're going to do it here is we're going to bend our 2nd fret 3rd string note, release it, pull it. Then to 2nd fret 4th string, open 3rd string, hammer to 1st. That high string's doing some funny things on me. I guess we're all only human, right? There we go. Now it's in tune. See, everybody's guitar goes out of tune sometimes here and there. Okay, so anyway, we have this bent note to our 1st string there. And from there we go, we walk up to a B7 figure, similar to what we saw during the verses. And then a big slide, up and down, like so. And then we have this little figure here, which is open 1st and 2nd strings to 3rd fret 1st and 2nd strings, back to open. Then we have 2nd and 3rd strings, 3rd fret, slide down to here, slide back up, back down, pull to just the 3rd string open to 2nd fret 4th string. So when we put that whole thing together, this is what we got. I'll do that one more time for you. And which brings us to our next segment, which we'll cue up right now. Alright, so slowly what that is after we come out of this is this. And what we're doing here is we use our slide lick, and then we're going to play the open E string twice. That slide lick is just the same one we saw in some of the verses. And then we go back down, landing here. And then we go open to 1st, hammer on 3rd string to 2nd fret 4th string, then a couple 9th chords here, which is your 3rd finger barring all 3 of these strings on the 3rd fret, 1st on 2nd fret 4th string, and 2nd on 3rd fret 5th string to form that chord, and then you just move it down. So when we take it out of the 3rd segment, it would look like this. And there we have that segment of the solo. Alright, next up, let's go to the next part. Okay, now I've queued up the next section of the solo. What I'll do is play it along with it slow, so you can get a good look at it, and then we will go ahead and take it apart note by note. I think you get the idea. We got all the notes in that we had to get in. So basically for this part, it's going to look like this, which is a slide from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret on the 2nd string along with the open 1st string. And then we're going to use, you can do all down picks or you can down up, your choice. And then we have 4 of these up here, our index finger bars, the 12th fret with the 3rd string and the 2nd string. And then we move down here to the 2nd fret, 3rd string, pull to open, and then 1st finger pops over here to 2nd fret, 4th string. And then we start it all over again. This time 6 strums here. Then we have 10 of these, which is a first finger 8th fret 2nd string and second finger 9th fret 3rd string. A little bit of vibrato in there. Same figure we've seen a whole bunch of times. 2nd, 3rd string, pull to open to 2nd fret 4th string. Next we're going to have something like this, which is open to 1st fret hammer 3rd string, then open 1st string. Into a slide lick. Slowly that's open to 1st string open to 3rd fret 2nd string, back to 1st string, and then our slide lick down. And then from there we go. That little lick similar to what we saw in one of the verses, and that is. So when we put the whole thing together, we have. Easy enough, right? Let me take that one more time for you so you can see it again. And from there, we'll go on to the next segment. Segment is just going to walk up to B7, like we've already seen several times. Signature lick, slide lick, walk up. So these are all licks you've seen before. We're just kind of putting them in order. One more time on that one. We walk up, B7, signature lick, slide, walk up. And there we have it. There's the solo from beginning to end. We've slowed it down. We've taken it note for note. We've played it quickly. We have one more solo to work on, and that's the last one. Let's get to that. Okay, this is the last solo to Pride and Joy. What we're going to do is play it along with the music quick, and then we'll slow it down and take it in fragments, just like we did with the last solo that we did. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, let's get started to work on this thing. We'll start it at the first segment. I'm not going to slow this segment down because it's just the same notes picked over and over. But I'll play the segment once for you, and then we'll be able to you'll be able to see pretty clearly what's going on with it. So here's this segment. Starts on 3rd fret. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to start on 3rd fret 1st finger 2nd string and 4th fret 2nd finger 4th string. And we're going to strum that for a series of downbeats, a couple beats. 12 to be exact. And we're going to move it up here to the 5th fret and do that 12. Then up to 12th fret where we saw earlier in the other segment of the first solo. And then up to the 14th fret with your 2nd finger 3rd string and 15th fret with your 3rd finger 2nd string. Next we have this, which I will cue up now. This part here where it's to there. That next part we're going to save for the third segment rather. So here we go. So after we come out of this, we're going to go, which is 14th fret 3rd string, pull the 12, the 14th fret 4th string, this is all with your 3rd finger, and then we're going to go to here, 2 notes on the 12th fret, that's 3rd string and 2nd string, back to 14th fret 4th string, back to these two. So we have this. And then from there we have this. This is pretty cool. Here you go, 14th fret, both strings, 3rd finger, little half bend, and back down. And then the 12th, back to 14th, like that. So the whole thing looks like this. From there we go. Which is this lick that we've seen a bunch of times. 14th fret bent, 1st finger bars, 2nd and 1st strings, and then 3rd finger comes up to 15th fret 1st string. We bend it, play that note 3 times, and then the regular 15th. So we have, from there we're going to go, which is 12, 15, 2nd string, 12, 2nd string, bent 14th, and then land down here. We've seen this lick a bunch of times. So we have that. And then from there, we bump over here to 4th string, pull the 12th, 4th string, 5th string, 3rd finger, 14th fret, and then back to 12. So when we put that whole thing together, it looks like this. Cool, huh? So let's move on to our next segment. So what we're going to do here is it's going to go, which is the same lick we've seen earlier. Bent 14th, 12, 12 on the 2nd string and 1st strings, and then we're going to go a little bend here on 14th fret of 2nd string, then to 12th on 2nd string as well. And then up to 14th fret, 1st string, and then to 12th. And then we're going to come down here, right down the scale to 15th fret, 2nd string, then to 12th, and then to 12th. So the whole thing looks like this. Easy, right? And then from there we're going to go, which is the same blues lick again. So we're going to go. Then we're going to tag this on the end. One more time for you. So when we put that whole thing together, those two segments, it ends up looking like this. And then we have a quick open note, and then right down our scale here, which is 3rd to open, 1st string, 3rd to open, 2nd string, bent 2nd string, or bent 2nd fret 3rd string to open string, back to 2nd, to 2nd fret 4th string. have a 9 chord here, followed by a sharp 9, by another sharp 9 here, which is the 9 chord here. I didn't show you that one in the beginning, so I'll show it to you right now. It's going to be pinky and third on the 3rd fret and 3rd string and 2nd string, first finger on 4th string, 4th fret, and second finger 5th string, 5th fret. Then we're going to slide it all up one and stretch your pinky out here. So now your pinky's 7th, these two are 6th, and this one's 5th, and then take that whole chord shape. Move it up, and then we have a whammy bar lick. And he ends it like that. So when we put that whole thing together, there we have it. The second and last solo to the song. And that's our last segment of this video. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know it's a long one. I think this one clocks in at well over an hour, maybe even an hour and a half. I haven't looked at the times for all the segments I've did on the camera yet, but I know it's been a pretty long time here recording it. So I hope you dug it, and stay tuned when I do another Stevie Ray Vaughan video soon.